Ritambhara Tatra Prajna. Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Yoga Sutra number 1.48. In this sutra, Maharishi Patanjali is trying to tell us the second benefit of Nirvichāra samāpatti, a stage in samadhi, a stage where the mind, the consciousness has retreated, silenced, and there's only purity in the mind. There are no pasts, futures. One is completely in the present. That state is the most purified state of the mind, which enhances the wisdom, the true knowing. Rita means the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth experienced first hand by you, not something that you've read in a scripture, not something that you've heard from a realized soul, something that you have experienced yourself. That is the meaning of the word Rita. Ritambhara. Your experience of the wisdom within, of the ultimate truths. Ritambhara. There are also words like Satya that come close to Rita. But Satya means the truth. It's a conceptual truth. It's a subjective truth. For example, when I start describing a cow to you, I'm describing the one I saw. I saw this cow on every Monday. Her name was Lakshmi. I would feed her bananas. She's beautiful, but also a little snooty. So I had to be very careful and loving and kind in approaching her and feeding the bananas. So I know who I am talking about. This Lakshmi, the cow, I know where she is from, how she looks, right? I can describe the color. Her color was brown, lovely, big, beautiful eyes, long lashes, and very nice. But unless you see her yourself, acting all snooty because she was not accustomed to eating bananas, people around in the city were feeding her tea and cold drinks and samosas and so on and so forth. She was so out of sync with her true nature. Anyway, her story apart, you will know what she is like only when you experience her firsthand. However, you will start relating to the cow that you have seen in your past, and that becomes your truth, while my truth is a different truth. So these are conceptual truths. Both are Satya. Both are true. However, Rita is the ultimate truth that can only be experienced. And therefore, going to a sage, and when the sage describes the state that he is experienced while in contemplation or while in trance, and oh, it was so blissful, and oh, it was so magnanimous and divine, and you must go there and taste the nectar yourself. They will go on, and all you can do is, yes, this path is beautiful, but you haven't experienced. Yoga is good, chanting mantras, reading scriptures, all that is really amazing. But until you experience that state yourself, you will never know. And that comes through meditation. And in my personal experience, Goenkaji, the teacher of Vipassana, who's no more, has been so true to this knowledge of, hey, you know what? Reading is great. Chanting mantras is great. Doing the rituals is great. However, until you experience the ultimate truth yourself, there is no meaning to everything else. You got to walk the path, keep meditating until you really experience what the scriptures speak about. So Ritambhara, Tatra, therein, Prajna. wisdom of the ultimate truth, an insight into what is really real. So this is what the sutra means, and therefore Rita instead of Satya. Therefore, Nirvichāra samāpatti takes us to Adhyatma Prasada that we saw in the previous sutra 1.47. And in this sutra we see that it also takes us to Ritambhara, Tatra Prajna, that which leads us to the ultimate truths with personal experience, and therefore leads us to wisdom. These are the two benefits of Nirvichāra samāpatti. Some sadhus are always full of Maitri, Mudita, Karuna. One of the sutras in the past, I think it was 1.33, yes, that we saw talks about these distinctions. Maitri, Mudita, Karuna. Some of these sages you will always see are so happy and blissed out and always having a smile on their face, completely detached with the worries, the concerns of a human life. Right? They're always practicing the Ananda, that is the Chitta Prasadanam. In here, Adhyatma Prasada is a deeper state, a higher state than Chitta Prasadanam. Here, the person who is experiencing Adhyatma Prasada is free from Rajas and Tamas, free from all constraints and limitations of the mind, free from the past, the future, and they have something called the Trailoka or the Trikala wisdom, that they can see the past, know the present, see the future. That's why some people you go to can tell what has happened in your past, can tell what your future is like, can tell what's going on in your life today. They have that siddhi, that wisdom through their practices. Because of that, they've achieved this state, Adhyatma Prasada, through the Nirvichāra samāpatti, because of all the abhyas and vairagya that they practiced, all the religious practices, the yogic sadhana that they've been religiously practicing day in and out, leading them to this Adhyatma Prasada. And this Adhyatma Prasada therefore leads to these two benefits that we've discussed so far in this sutra. Very often when you go to these people with all your questions and your mundane life, you ask them if you should buy a bigger house, a bigger car, or marry this, or divorce that. And they often tell you not to buy a bigger house because they know, they see that it's going to cost you a lot more time, energy, money, and have more problems coming your way, and instead of following the big path, the ultimate spiritual path, you're going to be distracted for a few more years. So they ask you, no, stay away, not for you. Don't have that kind of a balance in your life yet to handle these kind of vast responsibilities which otherwise are unnecessary. But you don't listen to these wise people, do you? We don't. We do what we want to, carrying forward from our past desires, feeding them with more fuel and multiplying them, and ultimately getting nowhere. But people with Adhyatma Prasada and Ritambhara, with the Prajna, see things as they are. They see people for who they are. Nothing subtracted, nothing added. Just the way things are, people are. When you see something that will give you happiness, these people see it as a problem in the future. They see that right away and do not go on that path to keep their focus on one thing and one thing alone. Hell-bent are they on their paths. So they choose wisely. They choose people wisely. Who's going to cost them more time, more mental peace, more drain, and therefore they completely avoid them right away. For that little conversation right now, which is going to give you that little pleasure, which is temporary, but that is going to cost you a lot more in the future, which you refuse to see today. Not that you don't sense it in your being, but you refuse to acknowledge it. Yet you go forward with that person and then burn your soul. Get hurt and then come back to the path that gives you solace, inner peace, divine bliss. That's the fun, the joy ride that we go on in circles until we reach the Ritambhara state, the Adhyatma Prasada state. Therefore, my humble request, as my beloved Goenka ji keeps requesting us all to do the practices yourself, and that doesn't mean merely reading or listening to scriptures, but meditating, contemplating, concentrating, and imbibing them and bringing out the purity, flushing out the toxins from the mind, the memory, and from the body. Therefore, being able to experience stages like Ritambhara and Adhyatma Prasada. Just imagine Santa Tukaram and so many great saints who've walked on this planet Earth and left us with such beautiful words of wisdom. They use language to describe their experiences, but there's no way you can understand what they are saying, what they mean to say through the words they use in their scripts, unless we experience it ourselves. And the only way to experience what they have experienced is not through agam, which is reading, merely reading a scripture, not through anuman, which is listening to the great saints, but through your anubhav, that is through your experience, and that you can get only through meditation, not through chanting, not through reading, not through anything. Meditation, the silent meditation, not the led one, not the instructed one, but where your ears too retreat and shut down. So all faculties, when shut down, is when the inner being awakens. That then now you can start listening to the inner being instead of the sounds and instructions outside. That's what this beautiful path of meditation is like, and I urge you to go follow this and make it your lifestyle for inner bliss and experience all the beautiful, mystical, magical experiences, the miracles on this way towards the ultimate liberation. Thank you for listening to this sutra's explanation. I've covered both the Adhyatma Prasada, which was described in the previous sutra as one of the benefits, and Ritambhara, leading to Pragya, that is the second benefit of Nirvichāra samāpatti. I will see you in the next sutra. If you've liked this, please click on the like button, leave a comment below and let me know how you liked it. What did you experience? What did you learn? Share this with your loved ones, pass on the wisdom, and please subscribe to my channel. Please click on the bell icon so that you are intimated about the next video that I make with so much love and heart. Thank you so much for watching me, and I love you. May we all be happy. May we all be liberated. Mwah.